to the orientation session for the qualification 77504. I hope you guys are really in the mood to get going with this module. Thank you so much for all the emails that we're getting from you guys. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything yet. We are starting off a little bit slow, but we'll pick up the pace as we go along. So this is the Teaching in a Digital Age, Emerging Technologies, Artificial Intelligence and Technology, Pedagogical and Content Notes. So it's going to be a very interesting course, guys. So look forward to going through this with you for this semester. We're trusting you're going to enjoy it with us. I know we're a little bit of a small group now, but I do see some of the students have joined on YouTube as well. But we'll be walking you through this to really get you up to speed, see how it all works. And I'm glad to see the colleagues are joining us as well as we continue. So without further ado, I'm going to ask the Executive Director from the DTSFL. If you don't know what the DTSFL is, it is the Department of Tuition Support and Facilitation of Learning. And that is our very own Prof. Mahano, who's joining us also on a Friday evening. So we're all very much dedicated to helping you guys. And thank you so much for actually joining us as well. Over to you, Prof. Mahano.
Thank you very much, Ntate Hapstad. Let me welcome and acknowledge all the students that have joined in, the academics that have joined in this meeting, and also our colleagues that will be assisting in the program that is about to start. I assure you that this is not a program that is ordinary, but it is going to change our lives, all of us, even we as facilitators or the people that developed the short learning program. We are changing the education landscape. We are also revolutionizing the education system. AI is here, technology is here, our content subjects are there in this is a step in the right direction, and you will not regret why you have enrolled for this program. It is a program that is really vibrant, and all the facilitators are knowledgeable. They have been in the field for some time. They've been training academics, students across South Africa in some students all over the world. So let me welcome you and acknowledge that this is UNISA, the University of Legends, the University of Leaders, the university that produced many graduates across the globe, across the continent, and it continues to have a footprint across 134 countries globally. And we are leading in teaching, we are leading in research and engaged scholarship. And currently, I can say this week we were celebrating one of the greatest milestones. One of the distinguished professors is acknowledged for his achievement in working closely with the Open University of Namibia. There is a Africa Millimeter Telescope that is going to be, I think it is situated there in Namibia, but we are going to benefit from there. And I want to say also in research, we are, I think currently we are number 6 globally in the Times higher education readings or rankings. And I want to say the teachers that are produced by UNISA is more than 50%. In South Africa that come from the University of South Africa. So you are not at a place that is just ordinary. This is one of the mother universities. You are at the right place and we are going to get support. My colleagues are going to elaborate more. I am not sure if the colleagues from the College of Education, College of Science, Engineering and Technology have joined, College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. If I see Dr. Kodisang is here, I see Dr. Mampani is here, and I see Professor Pala is here. I see Dr. Foto Patricia is here. I see Professor Tiani Flora is here. I see Metlakula Pearl is here. These are the academics that are, let me say, specialists in content subjects like mathematics, science, life sciences, physical science, that will be working closely with the academics from the Department of Tuition Support and Facilitation of Learning. We want to make sure that as we propel the use of artificial intelligence, we also propel the content subject and we deepen so that they marry. You can't study AI in isolation to what you teach at school. If you're teaching mathematics in foundation phase or in intermediate, senior phase and FET or life science or physical science, you must know now how to marry it with artificial intelligence. Hence, I invited also the academics to be part of this orientation of our teachers that are coming on board. It's not only teachers at school level. I know that we have also the district officials, the subject advisors, specialists. I don't know the current term that you are using, but we want to say all of you welcome. I know you come from all over South Africa. We welcome you. I see also, yes, Ntate Mputi Gabriel is also here, who is also a maths guru. I see Mepegi Butani, Klaprat. I see familiar names, colleagues. I'll be marking the register. Let me not waste time, but I'm happy because I see all the familiar names, the familiar faces, and I hope that this will be a fruitful session for our orientation. Thanks, Dr. Chetty, Ntate Hapstad, Ntate Wright. Thank you, and all my colleagues in DTSFL. Dr. Nene, I see you are here and you are not well, but you managed to join. Dr. Tsepe, you managed to join. Memwahi, all my colleagues in DTSFL, thank you so much. Shall we continue with the program? Over to you, Mr. David Harmstead.
Much appreciated for your warm words of welcome, and thank you to all the colleagues who are also joining us. I did note that quite a few of them have joined us this afternoon or evening, already late in the day, but we really do appreciate it. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Chetty, who's going to be speaking about setting the context for the qualification. And then straight from there, we're going to go into meet the module lecturers. So just for you guys to get to meet the colleagues who are actually going to be running the modules, it will start with Dr. Chetty, then we'll hand over to Dr. Mr. Wright, speaking in faith there, Richard, and then we'll hand over to Dr. Nene. Thank you for joining. I do know that you're not feeling well. And then we'll have, last but not least, Dr. Chepe, just to also say a word of welcome to you. So over to you, Dr. Chetty. Oh, sorry, Prof.
Yes. Yes, after the colleagues from DTSFL have greeted, I will also allow the colleagues from the college to greet also. Thank you.
We'll do that. Thanks, Prof. Over to you, Dr. Chetty.
Thank you so much, Program Director, Mr. David Arpestad. Very good morning, good afternoon, actually, I should say, or good evening. Colleagues, you can see we're still in the midst of working, so we don't know whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon. But thank you so much for joining us today. I want to greet the Executive Director, Professor Makano, who's also the lead of the Future Minds project and the SPSLPs as well. So we're really grateful to have so many of you here this evening. We know we are expecting a few more. I must also note that we have colleagues that are joining us on the MS team as well as on our YouTube channel. So some of our participants, our students who have registered, our teachers are joining us via the YouTube as well. So a warm welcome to you as well that are joining us on YouTube. And it's really great to see so many of you at this part or this stage of the SLP. You would recall that for the past 3 years or so, including last year, we've walked with each one of you. We've engaged you. We've tried to understand the environments that you've come from. And then we went back to the drawing board. And as I mentioned previously, we decided to put a short learning program that can make a meaningful contribution to the work that you are doing. As part of this, we've taken all our experiences with you over the years, including specifically last year, taken some of your queries and put this into a short learning program with 3 modules. The idea behind this is that by the end of this, you will be able to come out with something more tangible. You'll be able to come out with something that you can show and demonstrate your own professional competencies for. And we are grateful that so many of you actually heeded to the call of registering for the short learning program. Um, I should also note that this is a very strategic initiative for us. It is a collaboration with Department of Basic Education, so we do have the support from Department of Basic Education. I'm not sure if the colleagues are here with us today, but they did note that they are fully supporting this initiative, and they are also pushing for more teachers to join this particular initiative. At the moment, colleagues and participants, educators, we've got about 200, just under 200 that have registered for the first semester. And I'm hoping that if you have not yet paid your fees, that you do so quickly, because we do have about 700 or 800 that had applications approved. And the idea behind that is that you can only officially be regarded as a registered student at UNISA once you pay your minimum fee. So it's very important that at the outset we note some of these administrative issues. So we've processed about close to 700-800 of you. And remember that even if you are on the system, you may be registered as a temporary student or a temporary registration. It is only once you pay the minimum registration fee that you are now an official student at UNISA and you have access to learning management platform, etc. So it's very important in terms of the UNISA administrative processes, as with all our students, that you pay the minimum registration fee to get onto the system. So please, if you've not yet paid that, please, we encourage you to pay that so that you can get onto the system and be an officially registered student. Now, in saying that, as I said, we're excited about what we have put on the table, and I want to recap some of the elements that I spoke to you in our pre-orientation or pre-registration. And I want to reshare some of that aspects with you as we look into what you are embarking on for the next semester. And as I said, from our side, we are quite excited. From our side, from DTSFL side, from the side of the academics that are present, the colleges, we are excited because it gives us an opportunity to shape this SLP so that it becomes relevant to where you are as well. So we're looking forward not just to facilitate the content to you, but also as a joint partnership in shaping this SLP so that it can become relevant to the schooling system, to our context, and really push us to where we need to be as a country in terms of looking at innovation in terms of education as well. So as you know, you are all now registered, or should be registered or temporarily registered until you pay your fees, for what we call the short learning program, Teaching in a Digital Age, Emerging Technologies, Artificial Intelligence and Technology, Pedagogical and Content Knowledge, TPAC. So this is basically the broader name of the short learning program. It captures the essence of what we've been doing with you for the past year, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and brought this together. We then divided this into 3 modules, which you are now registered for. And my colleague, David or Richard, will walk you through to show you how to actually access the platform, etc. So these courses are being finalized, and we open by early next week, end of next week, that the courses will be up and running. That's our aim. And then we can start the work with you. As Professor Makano did mention, we are looking for very specialized aspects of this as well that focus on maths, physics. So we really bring in those core subjects that we know there are gaps in the system. So you have 3 modules. that form part of the short learning program. The first one is on emerging technologies in education. The second one is on artificial intelligence for teachers. And the third one is on TPAC framework in practice. So these three modules constitute your short learning program. Remember, you need to complete all three to successfully complete the short learning program, right? Now, let me unpack this a bit for you so you see exactly what this is in terms of what we intend on providing for you. So remember, the SLP itself is positioned at the NQF level 8. It is designed along the idea of 12 credits, designed along the assumption of 12 credits, which equals to 120 notional hours per module. The first module, which is on emerging technologies, and this is the one that I will lead with some of the colleagues for you. This module is really to think about how do we expose teachers, educators in our South African context to current and emerging digital technologies. And we will look at how we identify some of the technologies, we evaluate them, we apply these tools across diverse school contexts. And when we talk of technologies, we're not just talking about the IM technologies. We are also talking about the low-tech technologies that are affordable and applicable in your own context. Participants will develop critical knowledge of digital trends. They acquire practical skills on how to integrate some of these technologies into your class lesson designs and cultivate professional values to promote ethical, inclusive, and contextually relevant technology. So the syllabus will cover aspects such as what do we mean by digital transformation in education? I think that's an important starting point for us. We then look at a survey of emerging technologies right down from, as I said, from the basic like mobile learning, mobile technology, to the more sophisticated augmented reality, virtual reality, robotics, gamification, learning, digital simulation aspects. These are critical elements that are reshaping the way we see education in a global context. But the question is not just to think of what the globe is about. What does this mean to us in the African context, in the South African context? We look at the opportunities and barriers, infrastructure, access, equity, so that we really bring out those difficult questions as part of this module. We then look at some of the case studies of innovative classroom practices, practical workshops, designing a digital lesson using an emerging tool. We will also, in this course, in this particular module, bring in a little bit of industry partners in industry to tell us a little bit what are the trends, where are the trends in terms of education specifically. And we will also bring in maybe one or two global voices to see what are they doing in similar schools that experience your context. Like, for example, the US, those schools that are not your high-end schools, but those schools that are really in your community-based schools that are for underprivileged students. What are they doing to enhance technology? So we bring in the global voices, we bring in the industry voices to really make this a meaningful course, that a module that you can tap into and see what are the trends. This will then set the foundation for you as you start engaging further. The second one, we will then look at some of the learning outcomes, and I don't want to continue on those aspects, but the assessment will be formative and summative, and we will see more of that on your course site and some of the assessments, assignments that you have to do. We do understand that you are all working, but we do want to keep this an assessment-based module. We're not looking at very long assessments, short assessments that you can have quick knowledge transfer, assess your learning, and then move on in this course. The second one is on artificial intelligence for teachers. This is a course that is being developed by David and Richard, and together with some of our with the colleagues from the colleges, we will then bring in the subject-specific elements from maths, physics, etc., that will then speak directly to how do you use AI within those critical subjects. So the purpose of this module is really to introduce you to artificial intelligence, prompt engineering techniques. Participants require knowledge of foundational AI concepts, so you have a common understanding of some of these terminologies. We'll then look at AI in education, and the syllabus will focus on foundations of AI in education, AI tools for teaching and learning, AI prompt engineering for teachers, and in this case, we will bring in specifically those subject elements. For example, how do you prompt together with the colleagues from the colleges for maths, science, etc., so that your AI is not just AI generic skills, but AI classroom application subject-based skills. We also look at the ethical and responsible AI use. So we do conscientize you on some of the challenges that you might encounter and how you can address some of the challenges. We do also, we will bring in an element of the some of the progress that is made by Department of Basic Education here. We are aware that there is a policy and framework that Department of Basic Education is currently busy with in terms of AI use, and we will engage that as part of this as well, so that it sets the context for you and you work within that framework as well. And then, as in any of our courses, it's really not just theoretical. We want this to be practical. We want this to be hands-on. So in this module, you will also have a practical session. I will talk about the delivery mode towards the latter part, but you will also have a practical session here as well, so that you have some hands-on exposure to what you are doing in terms of AI. Assessments are the same. And then the last one, which is a TPAC framework in practice. And here the purpose of the module, this module is to enable teachers to integrate technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge using the TPAC framework. We do know there are various other frameworks, but this particular module will narrow down on the TPAC framework, and participants will acquire knowledge of the theoretical foundations, develop skills in designing technology-enhanced lesson plans, cultivate values, reflective, inclusive, and contextually relevant teaching practices. It introduces TPAC, what exactly it is, what are digital pedagogies, collaborative learning, flipped classroom, connectivism, some of these other pedagogies that are new as well. And then designing technology enhanced lesson plans with TPAC, and here as well, going specifically, I think this is a critical part where we will rely a lot on the expertise that comes in from the colleges, those professors and academics that are actually in the field, to bring and enhance the engagements with, for example, math, science, etc. We then look at case studies, successful TPAC integration in the South African global schools, and we bring this as part of understanding an alignment to your teaching portfolio as well. So I think these are critical aspects for us in terms of other elements. We will then look at okay, before we go to this, I think David David and Richard will speak to more on the learning platform. In terms of the delivery approach, so as you know, we did say right at the beginning, we do want to use a majority online approach. So you will have various online resources. Your main point will be the online learning management platform, which Richard and David will show you how to access and give you an example of where you can navigate the site, etc. It's very important that as a new student at UNISA, you understand how the platform works, where to access the platform, how to access the platform, how to navigate the platform. We also want this to be a community of practice. So we want you to engage with the discussions. We will make critical questions. Some of the questions that we ask may not necessarily be our position, but we want you to get you thinking critically. So we can put up scenarios and say, now break the scenario down. Think about this from a teacher perspective. So it's really about bringing your voice to the classroom, bringing your skills, bringing your years of experience, and let's develop this community of practice together. Secondly, online platform, main source of knowledge, content, and transfer, you access your content. Secondly, supplemental instruction through webinars like how we have now. We will invite you to webinars where we get you into the system, and we will bring you and do these kind of sessions, lectures, or for lack of a better word, lectures with you, so that you understand the content from the facilitator itself. We then want the third dimension, which is an in-person session. We will host these in-person sessions across the country. So the idea here is that we meet in Pretoria, the main campus. We will also have 1 or 2 people with you in, for example, Western Cape, KZN, or wherever it is, so that you can also join from wherever you are, stream into the sessions. But we want to bring you in person so we can actually see you face to face as well. So we're going to blend this engagement, and this is why it's important for us at the outset to tell you this, that it's going to be interactive, it's going to be engaging, but at the end of the semester you will leave with knowledge and value that can transform your classroom application. If we achieve this, then we know we've achieved our objectives as UNISA and as part of the collaboration with DB. So that's our ultimate goal through this course. I'm going to stop here now because I'm conscious of time as well. And I'm going to hand over back to David. As I mentioned, I will be facilitating one of your modules with you. That's just an introduction from my side. It's part of the area that we are focusing on in terms of emerging technologies. We've been working with this space in the academic development open virtual hub, right from robotics to AI to virtual reality to gamification. So these are elements that we've already been engaging for the past 6 years. And we're going to bring it to the table. We're going to show you what to do. We're going to show you how to engage with it. And we're going to bring that as part of the emerging technology module, which I'll be facilitating. So thank you so much, David. Let me hand over back to you, and then you can continue with the introduction of the lecturers and the academics from the colleges as well.
Thanks, Denzel. Much appreciated. And there we go, colleagues. So you can see there's a lot that you guys are going to be learning from this course. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. You're going to have something really interesting to do and be doing, and you'll be quite busy for the rest of this semester. Right, so without further ado, I'm just going to hand over then to the lecturers for the module. So we had Dr. Chetty, now we're going to hand over to Mr. Wright, and then Dr. Nene, and then Dr. Tepe. So in that order, please, before we hand then to the colleagues from the colleges as well. Over to you, Richard.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you can see me. So my name is Richard Wright. I'm currently working at UNISA as an educational technologist with ADOVH, and I will be spearheading the AI for teachers. So yes, it's going to be hopefully a fun course. We're going to try new things, so it won't look like your regular course. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun, but also learn very valuable skills, how to leverage this new technology within your classroom. So yes, remember this course is open at the moment. I will take you through later as well how to navigate the platform so you can get started very quickly. But first, yeah, let's just finish all the introductions so you can know all the lecturers from the various courses. So please, I will add my contact information on the course site as well. Please email me if you have any questions. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Richard. Much appreciated. And then I'm going to ask Dr. Nene, if you're okay, can you maybe just say a few words?
Hi, colleagues. How are you? I hope that you're fine and welcome in terms of today. We're going to work together throughout the year, and welcome to the best team ever.
All right, thanks, Dr. Nene. I hope you get well soon. Thank you for joining us as well. And then with further ado, we can also ask Dr. Tepe just to say hello to everyone.
Hello, colleagues. I am Pinahasi Tepe, and perhaps for a short, if it will allow me, a short time. This is me. I believe that you can see me, but it looks like fish in here. This is me, and I will.
All right, thanks, Dr. Tepe, much appreciated. All right, thanks, Dr. Tepe. I think you just broke off for a few seconds. I actually thought you were done, but okay, no problem. All right, then we've got quite a few colleagues from the colleges that have also joined us, which we do appreciate. To make it a little bit easier, I see some of them are going to a church function at 6 o'clock. I know Friday, my wife's also busy there, so it looks like everyone's in and out. So Dr. Kodisang, if you are available, you can just say a few words, because I know you're one of the people that said you need to leave by 6.
Yes, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Doc.
Okay, good evening, colleagues. I think I've already pasted something on the chat. I'm just going to read it. It says, good evening, colleagues. My apologies. Okay. I sincerely appreciate the collective effort invested in this initiative, colleagues. Really to ensure that we remain current in our academic practices in an era increasingly shaped by digital transformation. We really appreciate all the efforts, and maybe to introduce myself, I'm attached to the Department of Mathematics Education here at UNISA. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Doc. Much appreciated. Looking forward to the math lessons later in the year, or soon, very soon in the year. I do appreciate it as well. Then I'm going to ask, sorry, I don't always see titles in terms of MS Teams, so I'm going to maybe promote you today. Dr. Mampane, are you available just to say hello?
Yes, I am.
Right, go for it.
Okay. Good evening, colleagues. A hearty welcome. I'm Dr. Mampani from the Early Childhood Education and Development Department. My focus is on foundation phase mathematics, and I'm looking forward to sharing what I know with you with regards to IT, AI, and how to make maths relevant and appropriate for the type of learners that we have today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc. And then next up is Mr. Mputi Gabriel. Good seeing you also online this evening. Would you like to say hello?
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you very much, Mr. Wright. Good evening, colleagues. I'm Gabriel from the Department of Mathematics Education. I'm also happy and delighted to be part of this and appreciate that at least UNISA is helping us to use or integrate technology in our teaching effectively. And I'm looking forward to look for opportunities to see if some of you that are registered also might register our short learning programs in mathematics. We've got two, in fact, 3 programs, 2 active currently. So I'm looking forward to working in integrating technology and using the AI responsibly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, much appreciated, and good hearing your voice as well. Then next is Dr. Photo. If you're available, you can just unmute yourself and say hello.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shetty, and good evening, everyone. My name is Prof. Patricia Poto, and I'm from the Department of Science and Technology in the College of Education, and mainly my focus is on life sciences, and I'm so excited to see how we are going to integrate technologies in our life sciences. So yeah, thank you, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Doc. We'll definitely be seeing you also soon. And then Dr. Tobanjani from ICT, you're most welcome to unmute yourself and say hello. Yeah, maybe he's not available at the minute. And then, of course, Pearl Klakula, if you're available, you can unmute yourself and say hello, and you'll be the last one.
No, Prof. Tiani.
Good afternoon.
Tiani left. She went also going to a church service. Prof, it's in the chat.
Okay.
Thanks, Prof.
Afternoon.
Well, over to you.
Am I audible? I have a problem with my speaker.
Yes, we can just about hear you. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Pearl Klakula. I'm from the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. I will be teaching life sciences, and I'm looking forward to learning and also inclining in integrating AI within life sciences in basic education. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all the colleagues who have managed to join. And thank you once more to the students as well. All right, without further ado, I know I have been checking this the whole week, so sorry about all the SMSs and the emails and whatnot. We are trying our best to send them out. Please, students, just on the note, please check your spam folders as well. We have become quite aware that when UNISA sends you emails that you're not receiving them, they're actually going to the spam folders. And it is something that ICT is also looking into to see how they can resolve it. That's why we are trying to do the SMS route to make sure that there's nothing blocking you from receiving the SMSs with important information from us with regards to this qualification. So for further ado, I'm going to hand over now to Mr. Richard Wright, who's going to quickly show you guys how to get into my UNISA. And of course, we will also be sharing this recording with you as well. I do see people are asking for that as well. So over to you, Richard.
Thank you, David. So good evening again, everyone. So can I just first have an indication? You can post in the chat or you can raise your hand. Just let us know if you are a first-time UNISA student. That means you've never used the UNISA platform before. I see there's already hands going up. So yes, so now that you're in our system, this is not our space that we usually use for Future Mind. This is the official learning platform that we're going to be introducing to you. So I see there is quite a few of you. Now, the first link, I did share it in the chat. I'll just share it again. This is one of the resources I think you can use to really get started. And this is an open course. It's on the My Student Skills Hub. So for those of you that are on YouTube currently that can't get the link, all you need to type into Google is My Student Skills Hub, and it will open up, it will usually be the first result for you. Now on this, we've got this course. It's right at the top left because it's the most important one when you get started, and that's the basic skills in using my modules on my UNISA. So you are going to hear quite a few new terms as you start your learning journey. The first one is my UNISA, and then also another one will be my life. So let me just quickly explain what's the difference between these two. So my UNISA, this is for the official student portal. So this is now after you registered. Now you are a registered student within the institution. And this is where you then access the two subportals. The one is my modules and the other one is my admin. As you can think, my modules is where you access your modules that you've registered for. That's where all the learning takes place. That's where you submit your assignments. That's where you go through the content, participate in activities. So very important that you do have access to that. The second platform that's under my UNISA is my admin. So as you know, study fees, you want to get your academic record, all of that you get under my admin. Then the My Life is also an interesting one. This is your official email address. So remember, once you are a registered student, you are supposed to communicate with the university only using your My Life email account. And this is actually a Microsoft account. So you actually get access to a lot of benefits, such as free Word and PowerPoint, and you get access to a more stable or bigger AI called Copilot. You can even create your own agents. And that's something we will explore throughout this course as well. But we do know your My Life email will be your student number followed by @mylife.unisa.ac.za. Now, let's quickly have a look at how do you access my UNISA. So I do want you to follow along if you can, to make sure that you've got this access. So the first way is very easy. You're already familiar with unisa.ac.za. If you visit the main page, you'll see at the top, there's a My UNISA button. Remember, this is now your student portal. So if you click that, it will open up the student portal for you. The second way, obviously, as well, is just to Google My UNISA, and it will be the first result that you get, and it will also open up the portal for you. So if you have not done this yet, please visit My UNISA. This is the student portal. I will also post this link in the chat for you as well. Let me just do it like that. There we go. And then, firstly, as you're a new student, you need to claim your UNISA login. Obviously, you won't be able to sign in. You need a password. And this is where you click on this button over here, Claim UNISA Login. I'm just quickly going to go back to my, where did I have it now? Let me go here. So under my modules, I'm actually going to do this one, how do you log in? If I scroll down here, the first thing, as I mentioned, you must do is claim your UNISA login. You click on that button, and then you have to enter your student number. So very importantly, your student number exactly as you provided. On the next screen, you will have to insert your credentials or your information. This should be exactly how you entered it when you studied. So if you've got multiple names, don't swap them around. Do it exactly as you did with your registration. Even if you remember, if you've got an ID number, you can insert your ID number. If you've got a password, a passport or foreign ID, you can insert it into that tab. Remember, you just insert it into South African identity number or the passport ID. You don't insert information in both. So once you've clicked, you've filled in all the information, you click continue, then you have to acknowledge that you will abide by all the rules. Please have a look through it. What it explains, it gives you clear guidelines, and then you have to click on acknowledge. So you first tick all the boxes, and then you click acknowledge. Now, lastly, you get your password. Very important, keep this safe. This is your initial password. You can change it within my modules, but just be aware that it consists of numerical characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also alphabetical characters like ABC. And it's also got lowercase and uppercase. Now, why do I mention that? That it's very important. Sometimes you will see a uppercase I, and then you think it's a L. So just swap them around to make sure that it is inserted correctly. The same is with a O, uppercase O, versus a 0. So always make sure that you do, abide by the case sensitivity of the passwords. But if you have any problems, you can always still email us at adovh@unisa.ac.za. So finally, once you've got your information, that is when you can sign in. So you sign in, your username will be your student number, and the password will be the one that you receive. So I'll post this tab as well. It takes you step by step. You don't even need to log in to actually view this. That is because it is such important information that you need to have. So please, if you have not claimed your password yet, this is the first step. You must do that even tonight so you can get access as soon as possible. Remember, the first assignments are due next week. So next week, the 13th, that will be next week, Friday. So make sure over the weekend you can get this first assignment out of the way so that you can focus on the study material content. Now, as we mentioned, there is quite a lot of units on here. I'm not going to go through all of them, else we will be here the whole evening. But please note the resources are there and you can access this. So what I'm going to do is rather show you interactively how do we actually now access the various platforms. So if I go back to my UNISA, let me go back here. So now I want to log in. So remember, you don't log into SPL, you log into my modules and you can log into my admin. So logging into my admin very easily, you type in your student number and then the password you received. And then you can click on my admin on this side. So my admin, as we mentioned, is where all the administration aspects takes place. So for instance, you can access your academic record, your financial details, update your information. All of that happens under my admin. So just know there is the difference between my admin and my modules. So the second one, my modules, this one will ask you to sign in using the sign. You probably know that is Microsoft Office because you actually have a Microsoft account. So if I click on this, mine will sign in automatically, but know that you use your student number again and the same password. So the passwords, you will always just use one password for both of them. Once you access the portal, you will notice at the top, there is a drop down on my modules, and this will list all the modules that you are registered for that you can access. On the main page, there's the dashboard, and then also where you can access the modules that you've currently registered for. So please go browse around on the dashboard, become familiar. How do you actually access your modules? As mentioned, there's also a profile section where you can update, for instance, a profile photo. Luckily, with this course, you will not be proctored. It's all continuous assessments. So you won't be writing a formal examination. It will consist of final portfolios and projects. But please still, if you want to, you can upload a profile picture. Just make sure it's of your face, where your face is clearly visible. So please, no photos of the pets, doesn't matter how pretty they are. And then, yeah, so once you access your modules from here, it is very easy to navigate as well. So I'm going to use the ARTITO2 as an example for this one. So once you land on the page, the main page, it will have this banner image at the top. It will also show you a percentage of completion. And then on the left navigation, if it's hidden, you just click on these orange areas to open it up, the orange burger menu, and it will open up the navigation on the left. Now, I find it very much easier, always to use the navigation on the left, because then you can jump between units very quickly instead of, scrolling down and clicking on each unit on here. So just note, these units are also released at a certain time. So at the moment, you will have access not to all the units, but just the ones that we want you to focus on at the moment, because else you might go ahead and complete all of it, misunderstanding actually what we wanted you to learn along the way for your assessments. So it's part of the strategy that we want to have the workshops with you. We want to introduce you to the content and really give you a good understanding of what is needed when you approach these type of assessments. So I can tell you all the courses will have, all the modules will have 4 assessments, and then also 1 final assessment that will be your portfolio or project that you need to do. The 4 assessments, that your assignments that you're going to be doing, is going to add up to 40% of your year mark, and the final project is 60%. So just take that, always keep that in the back of your mind. Now, one thing you will know, when something is called an assessment 1 or assessment 2, that means that's formal. That's something that's going to count towards your marks. When it's something just like activity, that is supportive activities, it's not going to count towards your marks, but it is going to benefit you if you complete these types of activities. Now, just to show you on the main page, you will get the welcome message. It's cut off, so you can click on the show more to view the entire welcome message to this course. So please, the first time when you start, go through the welcome message, go through the getting started section, that you know exactly how this module is structured and what you can expect through it. So once you've done your welcome message, you can scroll down, and then you can click on the getting started one. For instance, in this one, it will open up another page, and you'll see these are called pages. So pages is something that contains content, and then you also get activities such as forum and quizzes. So just note, these will indicate to you what exactly these resources are, and we will have a look at the types of them as well. As mentioned, always start with the getting started. It will give you an overview of the course, how it's structured, the syllabus, what's the duration, how it's going to be delivered. Also some key concepts around the module, and then also the big learning outcomes and what you can expect to learn throughout this module. So go through them. There's also, for instance, in this one, a reflection activity. This is something just for you so that you can grow with reflection as you go along to really just solidify what you are learning. So once you have read through a page, as for instance this one on the getting started, you can click on the left navigation to go to the next one, or you can scroll down all the way to the bottom and you can see actually there, let's access the module AI Assistant. So here you've actually got Luwazi that will assist you throughout this course, because how can you learn about these various tools if you don't have direct access to them very, very quickly? So currently, unfortunately, ICT is working late on a Friday. That's why you will only see a spinning block at the moment. So please don't email us now. Oh, it's down. We know it's down. It's ICT did they upgrades, and the upgrades went a bit sideways. So hopefully that will be up and running very, very soon again, so that you can use all of these. So as you can see, these are pages, and as we come to an assessment, now very beginning, as I mentioned, first assessments are due next week, Friday. Here you can see due date Friday the 13th, and also note the time. It's 11 p.m. So please don't come after 11 to try and submit. It won't count toward the assessment. The reason why it's split up, you'll notice there's some of them got strange times that you have to submit or due times. And that's because, remember, this university sits with 380,000 students. If everybody wants to submit at the same time, there's no system that will be able to handle it. So that's why they split it into different time slots, so that not everybody, the ones that want to submit last minute, submits at the same time. But remember, you can submit any time before this. So please go ahead and do these assessments as soon as possible. Now you'll notice the first assessments for each of the modules will be more of an introductory topic. So that's how you can introduce yourself, learn a bit about your fellow students, and also share what you want to learn from this module, your expectations. So really, it's an introductory one. This is just to make sure that you know how the platform works. So when we kick off from the first assessment, then we're really going to start off focusing on the module contents. So go make sure you do the first activity. As I mentioned, you've got 1 week still to do it. I saw there was a few that got an early start, but unfortunately I don't know where they made up their own instructions for this. But yes, now it's officially open. Please go and do the forum activity if you have not done this yet. This is actually going to count 5% towards your year mark. So do this one as it is a requirement. So once you've done the getting started section, you can delve into the various units, content units. Usually the units are structured with an introductory section. And very importantly, the introductory section will also contain some key concepts. So don't skip over them. Make sure that you are going through them and learn just these key concepts. Keep it in the back of your mind so you can use them, know what it is when it comes up in the material. So from there, you also scroll through the pages. So as mentioned, there can be various tools. The main ones being used is a page and a lesson. A lesson just consists of multiple pages. So please work through the content at your own pace. Remember, we will have workshops as well that will explain the content and take you through it in a guided way as well. So go through the content. You'll notice there is some activities as well. As I mentioned, these do not count towards your year mark. They are there to supplement your learning. So please complete them as well. And then usually each section will end in a conclusion. Now, as I mentioned, there will be 4 assessments, as you can see on the screen over here. And then the 5th assessment is actually your final assessment. That will be the big portfolio project that you will be doing at the end of this module. Now, very importantly, as I mentioned, if we go back to my modules, let me just type in here again, my UNISA, the next one I want to introduce you to is your MyLife email address. Now, your MyLife email address, as we mentioned, is a Microsoft account. So you must always use this one when you send emails towards the university. So when you contact ADOVH, where David is at the back end helping you out very quickly, make sure that you use your MyLife account. As I mentioned, this account is not just a email account, it actually contains all the various apps. So you can actually have Word, you've got access to Excel. If you go to the main page, you've got access to Copilot. So you've actually got access to a lot of tools that generally cost quite a lot of money. So make use of them while you've got access, play around with them. We're actually going to use some of these tools during the modules as well for some of the activities. but please make sure that you do have access to these content. I see there, how do I submit? Let me quickly just show you. Let me show you, for instance, on this first one. So the first one is very easy. You just reply. Once you've replied, your assessment is submitted. If it's going to be something like a quiz, then you just add a submission, you go through the quiz, and you submit it from there. On the lessons that we've got here, we actually do show the various assessment tools. Let me just here view. So for instance, if you want to know exactly how the quiz tool works, this is the MCP type of questions. So it's multiple choice. You can have a look. You just click on attempt quiz now. You go through the various sections and you complete it. So for instance, we also have an assignment activity. That's something that you write. So usually these are, for instance, where you type it out in Word and you just upload a file in PDF format preferably. So the only ones that you're going to have that's going to be uploadable assignments is going to be your last portfolio, but we will show you obviously as we get closer to the time exactly how to do it as well. For the first ones, you're going to use the forum activity where you just reply, and the other one will be the online quiz where you just click on the attempt quiz now and you go through the multiple choice questions. Very easy. So please do it as quick as possible. You will, depending on the quiz, how it's set up, some of the modules might have multiple attempts, others might just have one. So just be, I was going to say, vigilant of that before you start so that you know exactly how many times you can actually take the quiz. But generally, it might be for a formal one, just one attempt. So be prepared before you attempt it and not just go quickly through and submit. And then unfortunately you end up with 0 marks. And now also these quizzes, as I mentioned, they do have deadlines. Please submit before the deadlines. The same with the assignment uploads, but these ones are very important as well. You don't want to leave it to the last minute when everybody is trying to do it at the same time and you experience a lag on the system. So yes, that's a brief introduction to the platform. First, make sure that you can access my modules. Make sure that you can access the first assessment. Make sure you submit it before next week so that we know you're in the system. Now we can really kick off and get started with the content. If you have any problems, please email us. We'll share these links again with you multiple times, how to get started. Go through this content, won't take you long, and then you're all set up for the system to really use it as a pro. I'm just going to see, is there a Telegram group for the modules? Sorry, we only use my modules. That's the official learning platform. Unfortunately, with the POPI Acts and all of that, we don't want to risk using any third-party tools. Okay, so yep, for the Sunday, yes, it's now getting real. Assignments are due 13th next week. So yes, we will share all the recordings. We'll ask that it also be made available on the course site so you can have quick access to it. Just let us know as well if you need a downloadable link. I know a lot of people prefer to download the recording so they can view it later when they might not have access to data as well. But yes, I don't see any other questions, David. If there's anything that I perhaps missed.
Yes, no, I think you've covered everything then. We did answer the questions coming through in the chat. So guys, please use the chat facility to post your questions so that we can answer them fairly quickly because there's quite a lot of hands going up, I see. Yes, Prof. Mahona, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, you know, being an old teacher myself, I'm asking myself how many in this group grasped all those steps. Can we have a follow-up maybe on Wednesday or so, or Tuesday, late afternoon again? Otherwise, I foresee trouble here.
Prof, sorry, David. Prof, you're absolutely right, Prof. And I think what we intended to do was this week to simply do orientation for the next week. Simply do orientation, get them to the platform before we start courses the following week. So I think what we can do is maybe next week Wednesday run a repeat, and next week Friday run a repeat again, because we have 200, and I see that our numbers are definitely not 200 as yet. So maybe we'll run a repeat of this next week Wednesday, quick 1-hour session. Friday another follow-up, and maybe what we can do, David and Richard, is do a blast session with the teachers where the teachers can log on and share their screen, and then we can help them as well.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
that
think
sounds good.
yeah, because we have only 40, and those that have applied are 800, and then those that have registered are how many? 200.
We have 200 that are on the system, Prof, which means 200 have actually paid. So there may be many that are TP, temporarily registered, who have not paid, but we're still waiting for that stats. That's why we're hoping and we're encouraging everyone, if you're not paid, please pay your minimum fee so you can be an official student on the system.
And if we can also, I don't know how we communicate with them via WhatsApp or SMS, and give them a reminder that they should register. Otherwise, they won't access the platform because it's no longer a mahala course. Now they must be able to register. So maybe let's meet again Wednesday. Otherwise, I see 0.00% pass.
No, we definitely will, Prof. And I think this is one of the things that the team and one of the things we all need to work with, is that we might need to also think about how we build up before we can actually get into the content. And maybe Richard and David, maybe we need to do a digital skills, take 1 week of the course and just do a digital skills course with all the colleagues before we actually get into the content and release the content as well. Then we know that everyone is built up. But then, Prof, also with your approval, if we delay the starting of the course by the following week, we can use next week a little bit of time to do the orientation, skills development, and then it also allows those that have not paid at least a week and a half to please, colleagues, if you're not paid, remember UNISA's policy is that if you don't pay, the TPs that are registered on the system, they will remove you from the system. And believe me, it took us almost 4 weeks or so just to register you on the system manually, and to go through that process again is going to be a nightmare for us. So if you have not paid your fees, please make arrangements to pay that minimum fees, and then we can make sure that you are in the system. Thanks, Prof. Thanks, David.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Prof. Thanks, Denzel. Okay, so yes, definitely, guys. I know we've given you a lot of information in a very short space of time. So we will share the recording with you so you can go back, have your cup of coffee, just watch the steps again to understand exactly where you are, and then to basically follow those steps. That's really, really important. Please do check, guys. It's very important. If you haven't received the emails, or maybe it's been blocked, as I said in the beginning, we are aware that it is a little bit of a problem with the things being blocked, the emails, that is. So yes, please do check your spam folders as well, because they might well just be sitting there as well. Without further ado, I just want to see if the colleagues have managed to join us this evening. We've got 2 colleagues who are part of Dr. Nene's team. Dr. Nene, I don't see the colleagues. Could you maybe just speak about the admin side of things and how we can resolve student queries? Maybe Dr. Nene might not be available at the minute. All right, so not a problem, guys. We are aware that this is a bit of a learning curve. First time you're doing something that requires a few more steps, and we will try and assist you where we possibly can. Right, so before we do the closing, I just want to share with you guys the contact details, because I know that's one thing Prof. Mahona does mention, that we really do need to be open and available to our students. And by doing this, guys, we are definitely sharing our email addresses with you, everyone that's basically being on the platform from the team. And of course, we're going to be sharing this recording, so you can also see our email addresses, because we don't want you to feel like there's no support or you're not getting responses to your emails. I know UNISA does have those generic emails that you do send, and we do, like the out of one, that we do respond as quickly as we possibly can. But we really just want to open this up and say that we're here to walk with you guys, and that's why we're making our email addresses available. So it's on the screen. So if you want to do a screen grab, but as I said, we will share the recording with you guys as well, so that you guys can contact us as well. Because that's very important. You're not on your own. You're not going to be struggling. We are here to help you and support you with this on this journey of studying as well. Dr. Nene, I see your hand is up.
Yes, my apologies. I just wanted to get to know in terms of the choosing query. My apologies. I just went to the bathroom. Yes.
All right, thanks, Dr. Nene. I just was checking with you with regards to the student queries. The CPD has two colleagues who didn't manage to join this evening. So yes. I was just putting their contact details as well with everybody else's, so that the students, if they've got any queries, they know exactly who they can email. As I was saying, this is a learning curve for everybody involved in the project, as well as the students. It's something new that we've only started this year, so it is a little bit of a learning curve for us all. But we're going to definitely walk with our students to make sure that they are available and they get the support that they necessarily need. All right, then also with the short learning programs, we do have the SLP side of things. This is also very important, guys. There are, for example, the email address is also available, especially the finance one, because a lot of you guys are saying the minimum amounts, or I've paid, how do I know I'm up to date, that type of thing. So please send your proof of payments, very, very importantly, to uclfinance@unisa.ac.za. Very important, so those colleagues then can also check for you and respond back to you as well. If you did have any registration queries, or you didn't receive your temporary registration or the actual registration, please then pop an email to uclregistrations@unisa.ac.za, and the colleagues will gladly send it to you as well. That will definitely help you guys, because I see a lot of the questions are actually in those letters, and that's why it's very important that you check your spam folder to make sure that you're not missing any of that information that's coming through. And that's also why I'm saying we do use the SMS side of things. The banking details, I see a lot of you guys have also asked about the banking details. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share that also with you guys with the email and recording, so that you guys can also get access and you can quickly see how to make the payment, which is really, really important. All right, so we've basically just gone a little bit over our time slot, but as you said, we've got a plan for next week as well. So over this weekend, we've given you quite a bit of information, work through it, and then of course next week we'll have a blast session where we can open the mics, where you guys can ask the questions that we can troubleshoot and help you guys over the line to get you going with the module. So without further ado, I'm just going to ask our other colleague, Ms. Lindiwe Mahlangu, who's also been helping a lot with you guys in the registration side of things. We jumped in to basically do the closing for this evening. So guys, we will share this recording with you, so please do go back and have a look at everything we've shared. And then of course next week, if you've got lots of questions for us, then we can hopefully resolve them, or hopefully you see how to resolve them yourselves, and then next week it'll be a bit easier, but it's fine. We'll be here for you. So over to you, Lindiwe.
Good evening, colleagues. We have come to the end of the orientation SLP, teaching in digital age. I would like to take this moment to say a big thank you to everyone who made themselves available to attend in this session. Firstly, I would like to thank you, David, the Program Director, and Prof. Mahano for your warm welcome and for your word of encouragement as we begin this exciting learning journey together. I would like to also to extend our appreciation to Dr. Chetty for setting the content, for setting the context for the qualification and introducing the program. Thank you to our wonderful module lecturers, and a big thank you to Mr. Wright for guiding us through accessing my UNISA and the learning material, which will be your main learning space during this program. In absentia, please remember if you experience any administrative hiccups, you can always contact Mrs. Martha Mahlangu and Mr. Vuchilo Chibulungi. Their contact details are on the screen, and they can be contacted at any time to help us where we need help and to make this journey as smooth as possible. We hope this program will be exciting, engaging, and full of new discoveries, especially as we explore digital teaching, emerging technology, and artificial intelligence in education. Enjoy the journey, ask questions, support one another, and most importantly, have fun in learning digital age. Thank you once again for attending, and we wish you great success in the program. Good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye, colleagues.